I want to talk about the natural struggle that it is to keep God at the center of your life. It takes picking up your cross every day, literally. It is a fight against your flesh and your spirit to keep God in his rightful place. Because as humans, right, as part of the human experience, it is natural to desire things. And sometimes those desires can get in the place of God, right? Which is why sometimes God has to strip us of certain things, or God has to take us through certain processes so that we will put him in his rightful place. He should be ahead of all things. He should be at the center of our life. But I want to take some time to talk about how it's natural to struggle with this. Because I know sometimes you may look at Christian content or look at believers, and it seems like it's so easy for them to just keep God at the head of their life. But it is a natural struggle, right? It takes picking up your cross every day and fighting for God to be in his rightful place. Because if you don't fight for God to be in his rightful place, if you don't take the necessary steps it takes, like reading your word, spending time with God in prayer, spending time with God in worship, then these desires that you have will naturally come before God if you're not taking the steps that you need to take to keep God in his rightful place. But it is a struggle. So I don't want people to look at other Christians who make content or make videos, or even people that you may see in everyday life. And even though they make it look easy, it is naturally a struggle. There are things that you have to do to keep God in his rightful place, to keep him at the center of your life. Because as humans, it's natural to want things. It's natural to desire things. You may be in a place where you're desiring children, you're desiring marriage, you're desiring a new home, whatever it may be. And it may feel like these desires are stronger than your desire for God at times. And that is completely normal. I want to be one of the people to tell you that that is normal, right? But we have to do our duty as believers to fight for God's place as it should be in our hearts, as it should be in our minds. So you're going to have to sacrifice some things, right? You're going to have to read your word every day, right? You're going to have to spend time in worship with God, right? That is the only way that you're going to keep God at the center. Because if you let reading your word fall off, right? If you let spending time in worship fall off, right, and you decide to do these other things in place of spending time with God, then those desires are naturally going to rise to the top, right? Because you're not keeping God at the center. So that is the only way that you will be able to kind of put your desires at their place where they're supposed to be and keep God at the center and keep God first in your life.